A Flink application cluster is a dedicated Flink cluster that only executes jobs from one Flink application and will the main method run on the cluster rather than the client. The job submission is a one-step process. You do not need to start a Flink cluster first and then submit a job to the existing cluster section. Instead, you package your application logic and dependency into an executable job jar, and the cluster entry point is responsible for calling the main method to extract the job graph. This allows you to deploy a Flink application like any other application on the Hadoop ERN and Kubernetes, like this figure showing. No longer the Flink client anymore, right? The job client source code will be executed inside the job manager. Let me give you the advantage and disadvantage of such model. Advantage: the application model is the better resources isolation, and a misbehaving job can only bring down its old task manager. And this deployment model is a recommendation model by Flink. And the disadvantage: the Flink standalone cluster not support good, not good. Okay. Here, let's summarize the future of these three deployed models. In such a model, the cluster lifecycle is independent of that of any job running on the cluster, and the resources are shared across all jobs. The per job model is only supported by ERN and has been deprecated since Flink 1.15 version. The application model creates a session cluster per application and executes the application main method on the cluster. It thus comes with better resource isolation, and the resources are only used by the job launched from a single main method. This comes at the price of spinning up a dedicated cluster for each application. Alright, see you next lecture.